Welcome to Microsoft Excel training. My name is Victoria, and today's lesson is on Excel Essentials, COUNTIF functions. Automated. Learning these functions in Excel will make your life so much easier. This beginner-friendly tutorial shows you some of the benefits using these functions, breaks down the count function with a focus on COUNTIF and COUNTIFs into easy-to-understand steps and demonstrates how to use the formula builder. Here are some COUNTIF benefits. Simplifies data analysis, time savings, reduces errors, versatility, real-time insights, and ease of use. The benefits for the COUNTIFs include multi-conditional analysis, increased accuracy, complex queries, enhanced data segmentation, high customizability, and streamlined reporting. The COUNTIF and the COUNTIFs share some benefits. Let's take a look at them. Data validation. Both functions can be used to validate that the data meets certain conditions, helping to maintain data integrity. Compatibility can be combined with other Excel functions for more advanced calculations and analysis, offering greater utility. Better decision making. Whether you're analyzing sales data, student grades, or survey responses, these functions help turn raw data into actionable insights, facilitating better decision making. Understanding these benefits can help you utilize COUNTIF and COUNTIFs to their fullest potential, enhancing your data analysis skills and outcomes. Okay, let's go over the structure of these count functions. So the first one is count. We have our equal sign, count, which is the function name, open and closing parentheses, and our values in the middle. This is a math function, and it counts the numbers of cells in a range that contain numbers. The values can contain or refer to a variety of different types of data. Only numbers are counted though. Next we have count A, counts the number of cells in a range that are not empty. For value, you add the values and cells you want to count. Values can be any type of information. And here's the COUNTIF structure. It counts the number of cells within a range that meet the given condition. The range is for the range of cells from which you want to count non-blank cells. The criteria is the condition in the form of a number, expression, or text that defines which cell will be counted. And lastly, here's the structure of the COUNTIFs. Now this is slightly different where it counts the number of cells specified by a given set of conditions or criteria. The range is the range of cells you want to evaluate for the particular condition, and the criteria is the condition in the form of a number, expression, or text that defines which cell is to be counted. In the formula builder, just click on the plus sign to add more criteria ranges and criteria. Be sure to check out Excel Essentials SUMIF and SUMIFs video. Okay, we've covered a lot, so let's practice in Excel. In this example, we'll count the number of months, budgeted, actual, status, and quarters. After that, we'll check how many months actuals are over budget or on budget. Okay, we'll click in B21 and go to the editing group and click on the auto sum drop down and select count numbers. And we'll select our range there, click enter, and we'll copy that over to the rest of the cells. Now notice that it's 0 for the months, but for the budgeted, we have 10. That's because we're missing numbers in 2 cells, and we have 11 for actual, missing number in 1. And we have 0 for status and 0 for quarters. That's because it's text and numbers. So we'll go up to the formula and we'll change it slightly. We'll change it to count A and click enter, and we'll copy that over, and notice that it gives us the numbers for everything, and that's because count A counts whatever's in the cell. It could be anything except for the blanks. It does not count the blanks. And counts only numbers. Okay, so for the budgeted, we are going to use COUNTIF. And we have our little cheat sheet right there, but we're going to click on FX to open up the formula builder, and in the range we're going to select our status. That's going to tell us whether it's over budget or not. And then we'll type in our criteria, which is going to be over budget. And notice when I click in the first box, Excel automatically puts those quotes in there for me. And the result is 8. And we click done. Okay. And over budget, that's going to be basically the same formula. The only difference is we're going to type in on budget for our criteria. So we'll click, and in range, our status is a range, and we'll type in on budget. And our result is 4, and we'll click done. Okay, so this time we are going to, because I have a drop down here, and when I click on it, it doesn't change. I want to make this dynamic. So I'm going to change the formula slightly, and I'll change our criteria. So it has our reference cell C5. And click done. And now the drop down will work. And click on the cell. There we go. Now it's dynamic. Okay. And we'll do the same for on budget. We'll just change that to our reference cell. You'll notice that it's represented in our formula builder. And so if I just type in over budget, it'll change. Oops. You gotta make sure they spell it correctly. Okay, there we go. And now it changes. Now I can change it back to on budget, and there we go. There we have it. And for a second example, we'll count the marital status, employment status, and both, and we'll count the letter grade. So we'll click in G2, and we'll use the count if, and click on FX to open up the formula builder. And for our range, we'll use marital status, Shift Control down arrow, we'll select the whole range, and we'll click in criteria, and we'll use our range F2, and our results are 3. So we'll click done. And so for our full time, we'll go ahead and use the same function, count if. We'll select our cells, our range of cells, and we'll put a comma in there and select our reference cell and the closing parentheses. And we have 0 there, so we've got to check and make sure that we're spelling that correctly, and yes, we need to change that. So you'll notice that it's not case sensitive, but you just want to double check and make sure that you're spelling it correctly within your range. Okay, so now we're going to count to see if they're full-time and single. So we're going to use count ifs with S, and we'll use the formula builder. So our first criteria, we'll use marital status range, Shift Control down arrow, and we'll select our reference cell F2, and then we'll go to employment status range and select our reference cell. Oops, and put that in the next box. There we go, F3, and we can see our result is 2. We'll click done. And when we look at, I just have conditional formatting so that we can see which cells correlate to the numbers that we are counting. And now we'll do our letter grades, but I'm going to show you a quick way to cut and paste because we've got our headers in the wrong area. So you just, if you watch my cursor change to a hand, that's when I can move it over. Okay, and so we're going to use count if for this one, and select the letter grade range, and we'll put in A, and we can see that if we look for A minus, there's 2 of them. If we look for B, there's 4 of them. If we look for married, we can see that there's 3, and that's how you use that function there. Okay, well, this is the end of our lesson. This video has provided you with a strong foundation in COUNTIF and COUNTIFs, but don't stop there. Excel has so much more to offer. Keep learning, keep experimenting, and you'll find that the possibilities are endless. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you in the next video.